everyone. How you doing out there? I'm a little high here. There we go. Okay. All righty. Hopefully this will be an educational one that everyone here will get something out of. So let's do a little roll call here first. Yeah, Uncle Al's with the books. Yeah. I got my book too.
Not me, it's up here.
Gunslinger's here.
Hey, Gunslinger. Well, let's get, I'll start the roll call here at the beginning here. And so first one in was Dave at 3:40 this afternoon when I first posted it. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture came in. Keith Cronk came in as well. Courtney, Wide Family Farm. And Uncle Al came in. Okay.
Audra's here.
Michael 58. Scroll on down here. All right, Gunslinger. Hey, Gunslinger, if you want to come up here, I will throw the link out in the chat there for you. And Homesteading, Audra, Homesteading in Idaho. Okay, and that, all those that are chit-chatting. All right, righty. Oh, two jumped out and left. Oh, man. I guess they want to just stick around with the music. Want to stick around for the music. All right. Before I want to put something up here first, just to remind everybody. Yep, that's what I'm putting up. So before we jump in, I got several things I want to talk to you guys about. And one is to show you support for our panelists. If you haven't joined their channels, please join their channels. And I want to bring this up here. Okay, there's a couple other channels I want to talk about as well. And I'm going to be throwing stuff up here. Let me get back to that. All right, so first one I want to talk about here is Dusty Data. He's putting out some good stuff. Oh, I'm just losing the image there. It's back again. Putting out some good stuff here. He has some great stuff going on. He does giveaways every Sunday night. He has a show called Prepperty. And Courtney and myself were on there with Casey, Cassie, Tribe. Yeah, Cassie Tribe is her channel. She was on there. I won, barely. These guys, these other two are smarter than I was expecting them to be. So I won the grand prize, which is a medical kit, and when I get it, I'll be doing a mail call on it. But I'm going to throw Dusty's first. All right, so that first link going in is Dusty Data. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and pull us back down here for a second and grab some other ones. This next one going in is Dave. It's his link there. And Dave is 39 away from being monetized.
Yay. Well, I lost the 4K, so we'll have to get some views back on it. But
okay. But you're working on it with those product reviews you put out, really good videos. All right, and then Uncle Al there. And then
Courtney, you're right. He never would have lived it down.
All right, so I'm going to drop that back down.
Ricky.
Hey, all things Acres. All the things Acres, yeah. And all righty, so let's get back into this. So before I jump off of this picture right here, look at the one in the upper right, inside that little A-frame that they built. They actually laid laid a couple of poles crossways, and then a whole bunch more on top of it to lift them up off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And
keeps your body heat, keeps you from losing your body heat into the ground and causing you to develop hypothermia and dying in your sleep.
Yeah. And it also keeps the bugs from the snakes from crawling up on you too much.
Well,
Some of them will still crawl up, but yeah.
If it's that cold, there ain't gonna be no snakes anyway.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on here to. All right. Shelters. What are they for? Is it for a single night? You're doing a shelter as you're, trying to get back to civilization or trying to get to your bug out location? Are you going to be in that spot for several days, or are you someplace where you're going to be for months? I'm going to take this opportunity to read to you from Les Stroud's book, Survive, Chapter 7, on shelters. The controversy over what is the most pressing initial survival task will continue as long as there are survival stories to be told. After you've calmed down and assessed your situation, your priorities will shift among several needs, depending on the variables involved. Water is crucial. Without it, you won't live long. But you can survive for quite some time without food. In some circumstances, I have lasted many days without bothering to make a fire. But if the deck is stacked against you in terms of the elements, nothing will kill you quicker than the lack of shelter. Remember, however, that searchers have a much more difficult time finding victims who have made a shelter, which is, after all, the perfect camouflage. And in one of the other parts here, when he talks about clothing, another sentence is to remember, your clothing is your first shelter and therefore primary defense against the elements. All right,
Hence
that out of the way.
Excuse me. Hey, kiddo.
Yeah, layers, like we talked about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Anyways, okay. So.
She asked what book.
What book? Okay, here's the book. Let me make myself big. This is Les Stroud's Survive.
Your green screen's messing with it.
Yeah, I know the green screen's messing with it. So, but it's Les Stroud's Survive.
Now, if you put that book right over your face, it actually looks like you talking in the room there. And
Gosh.
Hi, I'm Les Stroud. I'm on Gil's channel here, and it's a great channel. All right.
Back to the program.
Back to the program. Now, just one thing. A lot of these notes tabs up in here aren't mine. They're my youngest son's. And I got a special slideshow on something about he did here to show you guys as well. But if you are just doing it for one night or a couple, froze up there again.
Yep.
If you are building your shelter for one night or a couple days, the three most important things you need to worry about is moisture, being wet from rain, the dew, the fog. You want to protect yourself from that. That's one thing. The sun. If it's really hot out, you want a shady place to be. And you want to protect yourself from the cold, whether it's the wind and I just lost the word. Frost.
Dew.
No, the wind chill factor. Those are probably the three things why you want a shelter for if they're on a short term. Now, some people are saying any shelter needs to include these three things.
Hey, WD.
Protection from the weather, protection from critters, protection from scumbags. Well, if you're lost and you're trying to find civilization, you're not actually trying to hide yourself from scumbags. You want to find anybody to get you back to civilization. And if you're just there for a night, you're not going to spend that much extra time to build a shelter that's critter proof. So I think so. Oh, let me go ahead and so everybody remember, it's the banner says down below, support the channel. So I'm going to drop that off here now. There we go. Okay, I'm looking here. I'm just checking on the side chat. I didn't see whether Gunslinger said he wanted to come in here or not. All right. Yeah, Gunslinger just did a couple days ago or whatever, a video on a tent. Did a product review. Great review. I just caught it. It was a couple days old or so. But what the heck is that noise? Oh. All right.
Sorry.
All right. So, but if you're going to be out there for a month or longer, yeah, you're going to want to be able, and it's an SHTF or Tawaki event. Yeah, you're going to want to have a shelter that'll protect you from the weather, the critters, and scumbags.
Hey,
So let's hey, deplorable prepper. Let's go on to the next part. So, hey, if you're bugging out and you're heading out to the wilderness, a lot of people are going to be taking a tent with them. Usually, it may not be a big one like this. It may be a little bit smaller. And if you happen to have one of those ones that have a nice, huge rain fly over it where you can pack your gear underneath the rain fly without it being inside the tent, so much the better. There are some other ones like this. This is a totally enclosed protection one that I came across on when I was looking for survival tents. This one here, some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. This is usually, you'll find these at the beach or at a poolside or whatever. So it protects them from the wind, protects them from the sun, but the front's open. Well, basically, this is a lean-to that's been manufactured that you can pack up and take with you. You build your fire in front of it, provides heat, from the front, and it protects you from the elements from the other sides. And Gunslinger says, canvas if you can. Which reminds me, the first time I ever went camping, I had two things. I had a 6-foot by 8-foot piece of canvas, oil treated, and a wool blanket. And I was toasty warm.
Hey, Lala.
Hey, Lala. Okay. All right. Yeah, this cannot take a snow load. You would not use this in winter weathers.
I really wish I had a place where I could do some stuff like this with, because I would take that and show you it can be used in the winter. There is a way to use that in the winter.
Yeah.
You may argue with me, and that's okay. You have your right to your opinion. But I guarantee I can take that right there, as long as it's at least 5 foot across, and make a viable shelter in the winter with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, well, if it's snowing hard, you're going to have to reinforce this. Yeah. But yeah, it'll work. Hey, Jess. You got Keto Homestead with Jess in the house now. Oh, and Kaylin came in. I forgot to mention Kaylin. Kaylin Strain.
Yeah, they both came in about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to keep on the. This is a screen house, and a lot of people have these when they're going picnicking to keep the mosquitoes and stuff from getting in where they got the food and stuff. But if you have something like this and some regular plastic tarps from Harbor Freight or whatever, you can just clamp those tarps around it and turn this into a viable shelter of sorts.
Courtney, I have no place to do stuff like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Now, some of you have seen these. These come in different sizes. This is a 10 by 10, but they come anywhere from 8 by 8 up to 20 by 20. Little shelters.
Those are carports, temporary carports for boats and trucks and cars. This
one is for a lawnmower. This is for a lawnmower. This is a small one. But yeah, if you have one of these, if you have one of these, or you have the box and you haven't put one up yet, if you picked up at Harbor Freight or Walmart or whatever, hey, that will make a great shelter if you need to. Now, the wedding caterers and stuff have these big tents, and every now and then they sell these things friggin' dirt cheap. because they can't have ones that have grass stains on them or other stains on it and stuff. And so they, they get rid of them and they get to write it off as a business expense. So they usually sell it cheap to get rid of it quick and out of their warehouse. So there's several different types like this. They don't have a floor. So, and then there are several different companies making teepee style ones that are nylon. But hey, it works. I had one that it was raining really hard, and it has a lip around the side here that when it's zipped up, you got a 4-inch lip up there to keep the water out, and it works. Of course, then there's also the Boy Scout platform tents. They don't have a bottom, but they are sturdy and they can take abuse. Hey, they stand up to boys for years on end.
I don't know. It looks more like Fort Benning, Georgia basic training. I mean, I don't know. I was there.
Yeah.
That's why it looks so dang familiar.
Yeah. To me, it looks like, what's the one up north in California? Oh, shoot, can't think of the name of it right now. But it looks like that one. Now, if you have a simple tarp and you have ingenuity and some tent stakes and some bungees, hey, you can make a shelter, a tarp shelter.
Yep. And if you're really good at this and know your origami, you can make a 9-sided shelter with a floor base.
Yeah. You need a big enough tarp. By the way, folks, let me throw this in here real quick. On my Discord channel, most of you have at least been there at once. Over in the PDF section, there are several PDFs on how to make shelters out of tarps.
Cool. And when I was doing, all I did was Google tarp shelters, and this is one of some of the pictures that came up on. This is how to make using ponchos to make a shelter. The big rain ponchos, military, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your tarps, different ways to make tarp shelters depending on what you want shelter from. Hey, the one in the bottom left kind of looks like that one I showed at the beginning there, like the little clamshell on one side for at the pool area. Come on, all right, let's go to the next one. And then there's this one. I mean, this one has all the origami stuff on it. You can, showing you how to make all sorts of ones and everything. So, these you can download these pictures for free. And this one too. Now this one I like because it shows how to do hammocks, how to do lean-to, proper way to do a lean-to tarp, how to make a snow shelter, make several different types of snow shelters, including one underneath a big pine tree. How to raise up, put yourself up off the ground, keep away from snakes and mosquitoes and stuff like that.
That's a pretty good buy there, deplorable.
Yeah. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about they'd like to have their hammock out there when they go camping. Well, the hammock if it doesn't come with a rain fly, you can make one out of a tarp. You're up off the ground.
It seems how he went Mr. Roboto again. My sleeping arrangement for me is Charles has a tent and a sleeping bag. I have a hammock and a sill tarp, the 10 by 20 sill tarp that I can run between two trees. I can put my hammock in the middle of it, so I've got an overhang on all the way around it, and I stay quite comfortable.
Oh, cool, deplorable. Two stovepipe boots, ceiling, insulated panel, window. Oh, $200 for a 15 by 30. See,
I told you FEMA was broke. Now they're selling their $5,000 tents for $200.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. So if you get stuck out there for some reason without your tents, without what you plan to take with you, other than maybe just a simple small tarp or whatever, there's some other options. I like this one because their tarp only covers so much, and then they continued their lean-to all across with sticks and branches.
Now I see. Go back to that one real quick. One issue I see with that one right there is a strong wind is going to pull that tarp up. The best way to protect that one would be, instead of laying it, well, with the sticks on the, which would be the right side of the picture, you do that all the way across the back. You've already got bracing on the inside. So you put that bracing on the outside, then you take and get moss, which it looks like there's plenty of moss around there, and build a roof of it. And he's got another picture a little bit later on showing that. But that will give you a moisture and complete windbreak. That right there is just more of a sun shelter.
Yeah. They got a couple boards on the poles laying on the outside. You can tell from the fuzziness here of the picture. But yeah, a lot more would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And then David's Mule Train. Hey, how's it going? All right. Yeah, here's some people out doing a little camping out there, and they built themselves a nice lean-to there. Help keep the heat in.
It's got holes in it.
It's got holes in it, but it'll give them shade. May keep the heat from going away too quick. And here's a nice little A-frame that someone built. Have their fire right out in front, so the radiating heat radiates heat into.
Okay, now seeing as how we're at this one is a prime example. I'm sure everybody is seeing those semi-transparent cloth, or not cloth, but plastic sheets you can buy for paint drops at Walmart. They're not very thick, they're not very heavy, but they're darn dirt cheap. Now what you would do in front of this here in the winter to maintain heat inside there is you take and get your fire going, make sure it's got a back so it can't spread. And you take that clear, it's almost like a Visqueen, and you put it down I can't take your mouse, put it at the top, take and put a stick across the top so it's parallel to the ground, and then you drape it all the way down to the very bottom. What that Visqueen plastic will do is the heat will radiate through that semi-transparent, and it'll radiate inside there, but it will block it from coming back out.
Yeah.
And see, that's
it'll act sort of like a glass pane.
Correct.
Correct.
It helps trap the heat. It'll let a little bit out, but if there's more heat coming in, it'll heat it up quicker.
Mm-hmm. Far North Bushcraft is a older gentleman, his wife, they're up in Alaska, and he does that to almost all his lean-to type winter shelters. He's got a piece of Visqueen that he puts right in front of it, and it stays toasty in there all night long.
Yeah. All right. Now this one here, what I like about it is he grabbed all that mossy stuff you have going around there and stuff, and he piled it on top of his shelter.
And the way he's got it shingled, because that's what he did with it. If you look at it, you'll see it's shingled. It provides a water break, a wind break, a sun break, cold break. Put a piece of Visqueen in front of that, and he's going to be sleeping in 70-degree weather while there's 12 inches of snow on the ground.
Right, but everybody notice what he's sitting on.
Sticks.
Yeah. He's got sticks, branches, whatever, poles,
Hey, Tina.
laying across.
Yep, raised bed.
Hey, Tina. And then the next picture I have here. Not as tall. This is a crawl-in one, but he's got tons of stuff piled on there. It's piled up all over the place on this.
That's a camouflage shelter.
Or dervish shelter. But folks, you have to be careful with these shelters. Do not smoke in them.
Yes.
Because if you watch six season of Alive, guess what happened to one of their dervish shelters, and they had to pull the contestant out because he had a 3rd-degree burn on his arm because he lit a smoke, and he thought, I'm comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be smart. Never mind.
And this gentleman was already nature. You notice the tree that has fallen over. He just built on top of that. It's caught in the fork of this other tree here, and he just used that to build his shelter with.
And that brings up another valid point here that's not mentioned anywhere else, is when you're going to make a shelter out in the woods, look up and look for widowmakers. Do not make a shelter under a dead tree, ever, never, ever.
Yeah.
Make sure your trees are very vibrant and alive, and make sure there's no dead trees within tree falling of you, because that's why they call them widowmakers.
And it looks bad if you get harpooned
Yeah.
in your sleep.
Yeah, and that's what Les was talking about widowmakers. He goes, sometimes you're out there in the middle of a burn down or whatever, and that you're all there is around you is widowmakers, and you have no choice, but you try to try not to set up your camp underneath a widowmaker.
There is a way to semi test a tree. Is you take the biggest branch that you can pick up and wield, and you swing it at the tree that you're going to be next to. If stuff starts falling off of it, then don't sleep under it. If you hit the tree and nothing's falling off of it, that tree is relatively safe because there's enough green wood on the inside to keep it solid. Yeah. Of course, that
this is a little A-frame brush pile. So he made a little A-frame, and he really piled crap on there. It's almost like calling into a pile of leaves. Now this one here is for a little bit longer period. I don't know how of you guys are going to see this, but he's driven sticks into the ground going into it, and then piled dirt up. And he has his lean-to on the back, and it probably has dirt piled up on the back of it as well. So he has a very well insulated little room there to stay in.
Hey, Courtney, I'd tell you to man up, but you're the wrong persuasion. So woman up. If your arm's sore, too bad. Do it and get busy.
Now, if you're going to be there for a longer time, you can spend, if you're at your final bug out location, redoubt, whatever you want to call it, yeah, you can start ahead of time and start building a little cabin. Now, what I noticed here is that you look on top, he's got either tarps or some sort of material.
Is that tar paper?
No, it looks canvas.
It looks like canvas, and maybe even this one over here almost looks like a piece of carpeting. But he's just piled everything up on there, and there's stuff piled on top of it as well. Now we go with another one here. Yeah, he made an earth mound one. Mm-hmm. He's planning on being there a while. Mm-hmm. And this one offers you a little bit more protection from critters and scumbags. Now, you notice this is one they built their little log cabin. It's wasn't done with a lot of finesse as far as the edges. See how everything's kind of not nice trimmed and everything else. It slopes down in the back, but he's got a tarp over the top, and then he's got branches and other stuff tossed up on top. And basically what they're doing is the tarp is your waterproofness, and everything they toss on it is to protect it from the sun, to keep it from breaking down in the sun. And the next one here, this is the inside of one of them. I mean, that looks very nice and comfortable in there.
Well, considering he's got furs for his bed coverings, yeah, they put some time and finances into that one.
Yeah, including the cement rock stove thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, just interesting about this is, up at a couple of scout camps I've been to, people troops that go up there all the time, people go up all the time with the troops and stuff. They've actually gone up in the off season and built things in the different campsites. Fireplaces, kitchen table things. They've built a lot of again. I'm back again. And they build stuff up there, and they're like, our troopers only goes up there 2-3 times a year, but everybody else gets to use it as well. And so they'll start making things like this, and they feel it's something neat they can do. And here's another one where he's actually took the slabs of stone, and built a little fireplace up and vented it out. And then, of course, you get they keep on building stuff up. The reason I threw this one in here, this has been around for quite a while. They got the laundry. But you notice what they got on the roof there again, a tarp with leaves, the sticks, the small branches tossed up on it to protect the tarp from the sun. And this one here.
Good point, Gunslinger.
Oh, yeah. Let me throw that up there.
Last thing you want to do is have a nice roaring fire going, wake up in the middle of the night with a hole in your leg from a rock that exploded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it'll be just like a bullet coming out of a gun. It comes quick, fast, and it's painful.
Yeah. And he made another point here. I'm going to jump back to his other point. Know your weather patterns, wind directions. That was one of the things that where Les was talking about, where he made a big boo-boo. And he was in the Catskills. And he made his lean-to tube shelter thing the wrong direction. And he said it's like being in a wind tunnel all night long. And you see how they put sod up on top of it and stuff. Back in the pioneer days, coming across the prairies, people would make sod houses. They'd cut squares of sod and make like adobe bricks, and then get boards on top, and then do the same thing over the top. And they had sod roofs, like this guy. Well, he did a regular log cabin with a sod roof on it. And he's got his
flowers on top of it.
And he's got his herbal garden growing up on top of it.
And from the air, it looks like a patch of ground.
Yep. Okay, and that's the end of that. Now I'm going to get another one set up here. I want to show you guys one other thing here. Let me go ahead and pull that one down and put this one up. Come on, let's go. There we go. All right. This was, okay, he's 21 now. So this was 9 years ago. This is out Wolfboro Scout Camp on the North Fork of the Stanislaus River. This out here in the middle here is the Wilderness Survival Shelter my son had to build for the Wilderness Survival Merit Badge.
Cool.
And yes, they threw buckets of water on it, and it was watertight. He spent about only 3 hours building this. He was going, real fast. There he is, my youngest son. And that's the back side of it. And there he is inside of it. And likes the fact that he's rocking on there. Hey, 9 to 5 to life off grid. How's it going there, Chad?
Hello.
And let's go to the next one. So here he is inside of it. And he went around and just found all these pieces of branches and trees and stuff and drug them all in there in about 3 hours and put it together. There's me on the outside trying to look in. And this over here on the right side, that is a gap to allow ventilation. He went and hung a blanket up over the entrance, at night. And there was another one on this side to allow ventilation. And he piled up mud and dirt and everything up on it to begin with, and laid it up, and that was that one. So it took him 3 hours to build that. And, that was, they said that was probably one of the best ones they've seen built up there. Audra, remind me, and I will see if I can send you the pictures if they're not too big. I may have to send you 2 or 3 pictures at a time. All righty. So that's the presentation I had as far as the shelters. But guys, side chat time. Have you guys tried?
Froze again
there. Yeah. Unfortunately, my internet can only spit out so many megabytes, whatever, a second. And so every now and then it goes, oh, we're overheating or whatever. I got to talk to the company, find out see if they come out here and tweak it up a little bit.
Not unless they put a direct line to your place.
Yeah, that direct line's not going to come for a year or two, but we're working on it with their company again to bring fiber optic in here.
Then you'd be styling and profiling.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Oh, that's what else I was going to show. Sorry, Dave wanted me to show some stuff here. Okay, so here's the first one. This is Joe Robinette, his channel. Let me go ahead and throw that link down in here.
And if you kind of notice, Joe, he's been on the live a couple of times. The series.
Yeah, he builds some serious shelters and stuff around, and goes through building it. He's out there in the snow doing it. So, yeah, canoe trip, 8 days in the wild.
Thank you,
So
Tina.
he's doing shelters and stuff out there. With using his canoe.
Joe actually took a canoe, went across one of Canada's lakes, found an island, and lived on that island for 30 days. Okay, just to prove it could be done. He made several problems, which I confronted him with. I can't remember if I sent it to him PM or remarked on this video. I don't remember which, not so long ago, but one of the things he made the mistake of was he was drinking his boiled water while it was hot. Anybody who's been in survival training will tell you hot water is actually bad for your body. It will actually dehydrate you. If you have to boil water to drink, make sure you boil enough in advance to where you've got cold water or at least room temperature water.
Yeah.
Do not drink your water hot. That's why people who drink coffee all day have to drink 1 or 2 glasses of cold water also, because regular coffee, being a diuretic, warm liquids will dehydrate you.
All righty. And what just popped up here?
You have won $5 million. Pre-send us $355,000 to claim your $5 million.
To Nigeria.
Exactly.
No, actually, it was just a message from the boss.
Okay.
In California.
Wife said, honey, here's your do list.
No, actually, his wife suggested, since neither of us have access to cable anymore, she was talking about some of the subscription channels like Disney or whatever to get stuff from, but or Discovery or whatever. But since Discovery's been bought out by Disney now,
yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, thank you,
All right,
Caitlin. It was Alone, not Alive. Sorry, wrong program.
But Joe does build some pretty decent shelters, and he actually takes the time. Like when he was on that island, it's several part series. He goes step by step on how he builds it, so you can see the mistakes he makes and how he fixes those mistakes. He does it real. It's not. I'm not going to say this other channel's name from Canada, but I think you can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Or the guy that has lent his name to a lot of Gidgets and Gadgets. His initials are DG. Anyways, there's another one Dave wanted me to show here, and this is Survival Lily photos from her stuff.
And she is in Austria. She finally got married about the same time. And she used to receive a lot of flack for it. But I started watching her back when she had less than 1,000 subscribers. And she's come a long way in both her knowledge and skill and the way she presents things in her videos.
And she just got married?
I don't know how long ago it was. I just found out.
I think it was 2 years, wasn't it, Dave?
Could have been. I don't remember exactly when.
I remember when she was still making fires with those, whatchamacallit, stick and, you know what I'm talking about. Bow drill, yeah. That's what happens when you have 2 strokes. You forget the things.
What things? I can't remember.
I like this one here. What you did there.
Yep, raised bed.
That's cool. Raised bed. On a simple tripod on each end.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So, all right. So that takes care of that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now
Go ahead with your book, Al.
Old fashioned. Daniel Beard was, like Gil says, one of the American organizers of the American Boy Scouts. You should get this. This covers everything we discussed in this video, plus more. You got caches. Is it caches?
Cache. Either way, it's the same thing. Just
Yeah.
depends on what part of the country you're from.
Or Canada. They'll show you all the homemade gizmos and gadgets, even wine barrels to make shelter. So I should get it. And it's been, I think, what was it, Gil? 1909 for this one? The first printing?
I would have to go back in and check on that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been around for years.
And Courtney, in cold weather training, in groups of people, they tell you to get as naked as you can get comfortable, not too naked, of course, and sleep in a communal, under a communal blanket stuff, because multiple bodies generating body heat will help keep an area warmer than a single body.
Yeah. All right, let me drop Al down again. Yeah, I took my green screen off so you guys can actually get a good view of the book. This book. Let me go ahead and hit mine big there. So Les Stroud. And what's interesting is, I mean, he includes pictures of making shelters and talks about different things. So, you know, real good good book. One is I probably read through this book maybe twice. My son, who I showed those pictures of, when he built his shelter, by the time he'd built his shelter, he'd read this book 3 times. And he marked it up too. You know, he marked up all the fire building stuff in there. It's like, dude, it's my book.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
I got it here in Idaho. Corporal's Corner.
Like I said, another channel that's good to check out is MCQ Bushcraft.
All right. Well, let me see what I can do here then real quick here.
He's over in Europe. At least he was
Yep.
last time I knew.
MCQ
Bushcraft.
Bushcraft. MCU.
He bounces around a bit.
Well, him and his wife moved up there. They got a nice deal on a place, and I can't remember exactly where, but they got a beautiful place, lots of land, and
All right, so here's MCQ Bushcraft, and here's his link, which is really simple because he's got the customized link on it with his name in there. There's that one. And what was the that was Corporal's Corner that where'd it go?
Corporal.
There it is. Okay. CORPOR.
POR. Right there, first link down. Oh, maybe I can't see it very well. Never mind. I thought I seen Corporal's Corner.
Corporal Corner.
Mm-hmm.
CORNER. There we go.
There it is.
Is this the proper one here?
I think it is. Isn't it, Dave?
It looks like it. I haven't been on his channel in a long time, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it is. He has always something burning in his.
Yeah, forts and
And he's boiling snow the proper way, folks. Take your shmiga, you fill it full of snow, put one end of it into a point so the moisture drips down to the bottom of it, and you put a pot underneath it and you build a fire around the pot. And it'll melt the snow at a steady rate to where you're not boiling it off.
okay, and I like this one. Here's one playlist here: ropes, cordage, and knots, aka lashings.
And basically, there's only 3 knots you need in a survival situation. We're not going to go over them. That's a video in and of itself, but
yeah,
there's only 3 knots you really need.
In a couple weeks, one of the topics is going to be knots. So we'll be doing that in several weeks here. So yeah,
well, good.
Overnight ones here.
Then good, because there's 1 or 2 different knot ones on my Discord. You're going to have to go look for them. I'm not doing it. It's your homework for the video or live stream. Your live stream, your homework.
In that case, that knot one is going to be on Dave's channel.
Damn it, man.
Okay, but yeah, I mean,
hey, Howie.
He does a lot of And he shows his overnight shelters and stuff. And there he is doing some lashings there. So, yeah, cool. Cool channel. I think I'm going to tag him in here. There we go. All righty.
How
All
we
right.
made it.
I mean, he was in and out a couple times there. Excuse me. All right.
I have no hearing left.
Huh? Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Guys, side chat, guys. Any other particular channels that you think are good that people should watch for learning how to build shelters? I'll just
I've already said the 3 that I think are actually the top end, which is Survival Lily, Joe Robinette, and MCQ Bushcraft. All 3 have actually go step by step on how they're building the shelter. So not only can you learn, but if you got a decent phone or a tablet, you could actually go out there and start trying to build it yourself. You'll see those headaches that they ran into, how they fixed it will help you learn how to fix it yourself as well.
Okay. And let me go ahead and grab this. And I don't know if someone else did it up there or not, but here's Survival Lily's link right there. That's Survival Lily's link. A Lone Wolverine 1984 is her customized channel.
She's a youngin'.
Yeah. I would love to see a reality show of someone like her against some of these models or the Kardashians or something messed up.
She actually did, and man, this was years ago. She did a spot on a show where she was in basically a bikini, and how she survived after, this is, worst case scenario, you fall into the water, and how do you get warm again? She actually went from being in freezing temperature water, built a fire, and warmed herself up. She actually put that on her YouTube channel as well, so people could see it, so they could understand what needs to be done in order to survive. If it's in the middle of winter and you fall in water, what's the first, second, third thing you need to do?
All right, here is the one that Gunslinger just put out there, Dave Canterbury. Yep. Here's his link, and here's his channel here. So David Canterbury. And yeah, lashings, square lashings, diagonal lashings. Oh, yeah, cool. He's covering all the type of stuff.
Deplorable. You talk about that guy that's down in the rainforest.
Which one?
Though there's actually one in Taiwan. There's one in Borneo. There's a couple others in the rainforest that actually, they actually make YouTube videos where they dig into the ground and make underground homes that are livable. There's some they've built ponds, pools. I mean, the work they do is amazing, and they do it all by hand.
Yeah, I think that's Vietnam, wasn't it? Because of the soil.
There's several. I mean, they're literally anywhere south of the equator, within that certain latitude range.
Right.
And there's a little bit of north of the equator too, but.
Right, but it got to be a special type of hard clay too.
Right.
Because if it's spongy clay, that whole thing goes. It has to be the jungle red, because that's worse than concrete. You get your tires stuck in that, good luck.
Yeah, it's just like driving on grease until it hardens, and it's like cement.
Okay.
We're talking pressure sprayer time too, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I forgot to put in this, I apologize everybody on this. I forgot to put it in there. I was thinking about it earlier today, and I forgot to put it in the slide in the show here. One of the things you can do for your shelters, if you're just going to be there for a night and you're going to do a lean-to over it, I had some links that I was going to pull up and put it in there, and I forgot about it. It's on the other computer. Showing how to dig a trench where you build a fire in it. When it gets down to coals, you cover it up with the dirt and stuff, and then you pile all your bough branches on it and stuff, or your bedding and stuff, and it'll keep you toasty warm all night long from the coals that are. You put about 5 to 6 inches worth of dirt over the coals, so you don't anything less. You all of a sudden you go out in the middle of the night, and that sucks.
No, you do like Uncle Alan. Wake up and your sleeping bag's on fire, and you're doing duck and roll on the campfire, which was your bed.
Yeah, and so I'm not sure if any of these guys have done that, demonstrated doing that, where you dig the
No.
big bedding trench out, and then you build your fire in there. That dies down the coals. You cover it up so it just heats up the.
The best way to do something like that would be using a Dakota hole. And Survival Lily actually had a video where she built kind of like a Dakota hole with trenches to help heat the little tent that she made.
Cool.
I'll stick with heated rocks.
Yeah, it's safer. But if you're going to do a Dakota hole, you have to make sure there's enough separation to keep the fire itself away from your shelter.
Yeah.
Yep, hot rocks. Best and easiest way to do it. Just make sure your rocks ain't cracked.
Right.
Or they go poof in the middle of the night and make you bleed.
Yep.
Or words get shot in the butt.
Or in the front.
Or yeah.
Instant vasectomy.
Yep.
All right. And any kids watching, ask your parents what that is.
No, do not ask your kids. Wait until you're old enough to find out on your own. When you're 18, don't ask before you turn 18. No. That's from Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave said, don't do it.
Yep. Uncle Dave over here.
All right. Okay.
Now, Uncle Al, I'll take you over when we do sheep. Just spit it in the bucket.
I may not even do that one. Okay, so we're looking at. Interesting. The knives to the right one is next Tuesday, and after that it's going to be knots.
So this Friday
Tuesday is going to be knives, and the following Tactical Tuesday is going to be knots. And this Friday, Dave's not going to be here. We're going to be talking what is off grid, and hopefully Reed will be able to make it, and hopefully Ben will be able to make it too. Ben has an off grid cabin here in Idaho that he has filmed a lot of videos at. So hopefully I can get him in here on that. And maybe even get Scott to talk about his off-grid cabin up in Bonner County. All righty. I think we're going to wrap it up here with that. So tonight's Tuesday. Tomorrow night, Courtney at 9:30 Eastern Time, that's Wide Family Farm, has her live stream. And then a half-hour break between that and Keto Homestead with Jess for the pajama party. Sorry, guys, only ladies are allowed up on the panel.
No. I've seen a guy up there.
They had a guy. They lied to me? I missed it. They lied to me?
Yes, last week.
Yeah. Yeah, last week I had
it's all Jess's fault.
Okay. And so that's on Thursday, tomorrow night on Wednesday. And then Thursday we have JIT preparedness info. I'm trying to remember what time Will's on at.
I think Thursday. It's his time, 1 o'clock Pacific. It's noon.
1:30. 1:30.
Okay. Well, 1:30 Mountain Time.
Right.
All right. And then okay, and then again on Sunday evening is the Prepperty on Dusty Data's channel. Sunday evening, Dusty Data.
He wouldn't want me up there.
Anybody can get on the panel. Are you just going to be one of the first? He pops it up, and I went in. I got him how about getting on there. Yeah, I went in there, and when they finally had 3 people up there, then he started the game, and anybody can participate, and he gives away some cool stuff.
I'm too opinionated.
Yeah. And And so that's what's coming on here, preparedness-wise for the next week. And everybody, last words, Uncle Al.
Let's see. Just try to get this book and watch this live stream over again. Also check out Gil and Dave's channel, both of these guys on shelters.
Yeah. Dave?
Word.
Okay. All righty. So we gave you some really good channels to subscribe to here, and in the chat there gave you the links to them. And let me check one other thing here real quick here before I go. And all right. So Dave needs 36 more subscribers to make it there.
Yay.
Lost it again there for a second. If you haven't seen some of Dave's old videos, he has some really great old videos on that but he has a lot of good ones, a lot of information. He has some cooking videos in there. He doesn't like to see them, but I think they're pretty cool. Just check them out and give them some watch hours. All righty. So everyone, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll catch you next time around. Take care.
Keep them loaded.